Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? So I want to talk about the matchup between Gervonta Tank Davis and Frank the Ghost Martin. This fight hasn't been officially put out there with a hard date, a hard venue, a hard undercard. All we know right now is that they're projected to fight on June 15th. And there's supposed to be David Benavidez versus Alexander Vostok on that card. But I don't know about the other fights that's supposed to be on that card. I don't know if there's a for sure location. I'm hearing about Houston, which I think would be super dope. But nonetheless, man, I'm really, really hoping that this fight is the real deal because I think it's a fantastic matchup. I think that this is a fight that will give us a lot of insight on what Tank Davis is all about on this level versus somebody that brings what Frank Martin brings to the table. Frank Martin is something different than what Tank Davis has been facing over the course of his career. Tank Davis has fought some really good fighters. Leo Santa Cruz in his division, 126, 130, around those divisions, Leo Santa Cruz was really good. But one could call him one-dimensional. Hector Garcia, really good fighter. A very skilled guy. Got a win over Chris Colbert, but, turn right back around after getting stopped by Tank Davis. He get outboxed by Lamont Roach. You dig what I'm saying? Showed a lot of limitations there. You got guys like Ryan Garcia, Isak Pitbull Cruz, these Mario Barrios. These are not terrible fighters, but they don't have those additional levels that could make a guy like Tank Davis have to really dig in his bag and show you something. You feel me? Tank Davis can beat these type of guys on cruise control. Now, the crazy part about it is he can go in there and do the exact same shit to Frank Martin. That's how good I believe Tank Davis is. But I need to see it. Let's talk about Frank Martin. Trained by Derrick James. This guy has some pedigree. You see the type of fighters that he's been in the gym with. You see the type of guys that he's surrounding himself with. You see how he moved. Very even keel guy. I met him in person, Frank Martin. Really cool guy, really even keel, focus on his craft. Let's talk about inside the ring. This guy is a southpaw, another, different look for Tank Davis. When the last time you seen Tank Davis fight a southpaw? Frank Martin can box, he can bang, he can be slick, he can fight off the back foot. He can come forward behind a jab and break it down with body shots, that Earl Spence type shit, leaning on you. He has very good footwork and angles, can put you in a vulnerable position with the angles that he used. Now with him and Tank Davis both being southpaws, we'll see how that works because normally when you got a southpaw versus an orthodox, that's when you really have a lot of the foot positioning and the angles and the turning guys and being able to get them out of position and shit like that. So we'll see what that looks like versus another southpaw. But Frank Martin has those skills in his tool belt. You dig what I'm saying? And Frank Martin also got decent hand speed. He got some nice power. Guys respect Frank Martin's power. Everybody that's been in the ring with Frank Martin has respected his power. Frank Martin is a really, really good fighter, man, and very athletic guy. These are a lot of these attributes I'm naming. You haven't really seen Tank Davis face these type of guys, which is what makes this fight interesting. But you see the title of this video, Frank Martin can win this fight. Make no mistake, Tank Davis is the favorite, and he should be the favorite. And if I had to make a prediction today, I'm picking Tank Davis. I think Tank Davis has the ability to be better than... I think Tank Davis can be the best fighter within covering about 4 divisions. I'm talking 30, 35, 40, possibly even 47. I don't know if Tank is ever gonna get up that far. You dig what I'm saying? But they did mention talks about fighting Keith Thurman or fighting a Terrence Crawford. And I know that camp, they do a whole lot of talking and not enough action. But that's the type of shit that they saying. Me personally, from what I've seen from Tank Davis, I think he's that good. I think Tank Davis is the clear favorite in this fight. And I think it'd be smart to favor him by a stoppage because that's what we've seen Tank Davis do. We've seen Tank Davis get into situations where, in the Mario Barrios fight where he had to, pull out a knockout late in the fight. I think Frank Martin is one of those guys that will be able to survive and take this fight in the late rounds. And we've seen Tank Davis get a late round stoppage. But Frank Martin has a real chance to win this fight. Let me tell you why. There was something that Frank Martin said a while ago when people asked him how would he do in a fight with Tank Davis. And he said something very interesting. This is something that I always wanted to see from Tank. He said, I would have boxed his ears off. I would have boxed his head off. I would have made him come to me. That's what Frank Martin said. And I've always wanted to see Tank versus a guy who can fight off of the back foot educationally and skillfully with a high level of intellect and play chess and make Tank Davis cut the ring off and chase him, make him come to him, while also being a counterpuncher and setting traps. Frank Martin has the ability to use the little bit of a reach advantage that he has, and there's going to be spots where Frank got to fight Tank in the middle of the ring, which is going to be dangerous with Tank's counterpunching ability, his speed and power, his ability to get up underneath your shit and land big ass power shots. He's going to have to do that. There's no way around that. Frank Martin ain't going to be able to move and stay away from Tank all night. There's going to be spots where he got to fight in the middle of that ring, and Frank is very good at that. But also, I can see Frank Martin being able to use his feet and positioning and distance and circling, frustrating Tank Davis, making Tank, jump in and get careless because Tank is used to fighting guys that come to him. Tank is used to fighting guys that are flat-footed and that go one way. They come to him and they allow Tank to be the dictator and choose when he want to throw and make all the decisions. In this fight, I think Frank Martin has the ability to be able to, make Tank Davis think more, use his jab. He got a really good jab to the head and to the body. He's a really good body puncher. I think he'll be able to slow Tank down a little bit with some of those shots to the body, which is dangerous to throw against Tank because he's so powerful with those counter shots up top. But Frank Martin has the athleticism and the ring generalship to be able to dictate the pace of the fight, make Tank come to him. And I think he can win rounds on Tank. If this fight goes past 8 or 9, I think Tank Davis could be in trouble. You dig what I'm saying? If this fight goes past 8 or 9, I think Tank Davis could be in trouble. This could be one of those fights where, his corner tell him, hey, bruh, it's the 10th, 11th round. You need a knockout. You got to hurt this guy. You dig what I'm saying? This is going to be a very, very fun fight to watch. And I'm excited to see, what y'all think. How y'all think this fight going to play out, man. Like I said, Tank Davis is the clear favorite, and he should be. But don't be surprised if Frank Martin take this fight to the late rounds and is in position to win a decision. You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind, Frank Martin can hurt Tank Davis. If he get Tank Davis frustrated enough to where he start missing and lunging in, he not used to having to chase a guy and cut the ring off, and Frank land one of them left hands, it could get bad, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. What do y'all think about Frank Martin's chances of beating Tank Davis? Who you got in that fight and why? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.